you think Brooke hurt him or no?
Oh, Brooke shook him up, yeah. Brooke shook him up. I don't know if he hurt him where you can say, like, you know, oh, Gennady was hurt. But he shook him up. And for welterweight to shake you up, too, is, you know, that's why I'm excited, because I know that if I land, or when I land those same shots, it might have a different effect.
Is there one particular fight of Gennady's that you've looked at and said, aha, that's where I can get him right there?
No, I study all tapes. I look at all the different habits that he has, flaws that he has, and the game plan, like I said before, is just to try to capitalize on those things.
David Lemieux said that his biggest regret against Golovkin was that he wasn't aggressive enough. He was too passive. Do you think that's a pitfall that people against Golovkin maybe aren't pushing the issue enough and aren't being aggressive enough against him?
Well, I think, you know, a lot of people's mistake is getting into the habit of fighting his type of fight and his style, where like a Bernard Hopkins is, sometimes he get criticized for it, but as ugly as his fights were, and people say they were kind of boring, but he kind of made you fight his fight. And the times that he lost was when people got him out of that comfortability. So that's really the game plan for me. Whatever it may be, you know, you have to adjust inside there. He might show up a boxer, you know, so we never know. We just have to adjust.
How would you describe, what does a Golovkin fight look like? And how would you describe it?
Same as what we've been seeing. Come forward, cut the ring off, wide shots, hooks, body shots, pressure.
Danny, Gennady did say, and Abel said, that there's an edge on Gennady this time, maybe more so in any of the last 3-4 fights. He seems to be really geared up. He's liking the Brooklyn versus Manhattan, and something about maybe your athleticism and stuff too. So wanted to pass that on to you. It said, you know, Golovkin is really fired up and really enjoying sort of the lead up to this fight. Your thoughts on that?
As am I. I'm excited about this matchup. Like I said before, I'm a fan of the sport. I like to see the best versus the best. For me to be a part of that, it just adds to what I want to have a great legacy. I know that it's a tough task, but I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm really excited about this opportunity that I have, because not only because this is a lifelong dream of mine, but because so many people are doubting me. So many people, and it's nothing better to, in one night, capture your dreams, improve the world, and shock the world.
If you win, what's next? Which big fights do you want? I mean, do you want Canelo? I mean, what?
I don't even think about it, to be honest with
you.
I don't even think about it, because this is that fight. This is that fight. And for me to think about anyone else or anything else, I can't.
On their side, there's obvious talk about what's next, but you haven't given any thought about that.
I haven't.
Danny, do you think that hurts Golovkin and his team when there's obviously a cloud over them, or an impending possible Canelo fight? And obviously, you know, you're a boxing fan, so you know how big that fight could potentially be. You think that it could distract him from you and what's going on?
No, but I do think that life is about energy. If you put that bad energy out there, that bad vibe, and overlooking an opponent, you know, probably can catch up to you.
Do you think he's overlooking you?
Maybe not him per se, but if his team and everybody else is planning ahead, then, you know, as a whole, collectively, I think it might be a little bit.
Lemieux referred to GGG as the kingpin. Do you see him that way in boxing right now?
Of the middleweight division, maybe not a whole of boxing. Yeah, he's the #1 guy at the moment, because he has the belts, the majority of the belts, and he has an impressive resume. So you can't deny that. Have to give respect where respect is due. But I think I'm a better fighter all around, and it's my duty to go in there and take those things.
Danny, how much does intimidation work in his favor? I mean, do you think some guys go in there intimidated by his record and by his reputation?
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it a lot in Mike Tyson fights. Guy was previously in all the different fights, it's a totally different fighter. But when he stepped in there with Mike, you can see he was a little nervous, he was a little fidgety, and he didn't give his best performance. Man, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about none of that. You're gonna see it. Listen, I have lived for this moment. Everything that I've scoped in my whole career, is for this one moment. I've been boxing since I was 14 years old, so it's more than half my life for this one moment. I'm not gonna be intimidated. That's the last thing that I'm worried about. He hits hard, cuts for me. I'm gonna be ready for all those things. But the last thing I'm worried about is being intimidated or losing before I go in the ring.
One of the things